Great. So welcome everyone. We are online. Welcome to our webinar from the series of the subject webinars where I'm not alone as always. First of all, my name is Georgi. You might know me already. I will be the co-host/co-moderator of today's webinar. So in other words, not that interesting person for you for this afternoon or evening. So we have guests from two German universities who will present two specific and unique study programs, but bear with me for several minutes before we get to them. First of all, for those who are new to the webinar setting of Zoom, let me tell you a few words about how we should proceed. The main button for today is the Q&A button for you guys, dear attendees. It's already open. It will be open until the very end of the webinar, so you can send in your questions starting already actually from right now, and then we will have a live Q&A session after our presentations are done, so in around, let's say, 40 minutes, and then your questions will be, most of your questions at least, will be answered live by one of our guests. And also keep an eye on the chat because we will be sending some interesting information also on the chat. So as you already know, today's umbrella topic is studying business administration in Germany. And we have, as I said, two guests from two German universities. So we have from South Westphalia University of Applied Sciences, Asif Shahryar, and he will present a MA level program in international management and information systems. And then we have a guest from Pforzheim University of Applied Sciences, Professor Dr. Thomas Schuster, and he will talk about Bachelor of Science level program in Business Administration, Digital Enterprise Management. So before we move to them, let me tell you quickly who is behind today's webinar. So it is my German university, and when we are Germany's actually largest database when it comes to English taught study programs. We have over 2,600 degree programs listed on our webpage, bachelor level and also master's level, and you can find some short courses and language courses as well. Our main goal is to help international students on their way towards studying in Germany, and we are trying to achieve these goals through three key ways. One of them is our study finder. You can see it in front of your screens right now, but a small version of it. So when you go to our webpage, you will be able to see the full version of our study finder with all of its filters, which will help you to relatively quickly find the best fitting program for you based on your interests, on your backgrounds, and so on and so forth, because it has lots of filters. The second way of helping you is through writing up articles. We have lots of articles, comprehensive articles on various topics related to studying in Germany. For example, are you interested in APS certificate issue? Are you interested in cost of living, or in Hochschulstart, in letter of motivation writing, CV writing, blocked account issue, and so on and so forth. All this information, we have articles on that, quite comprehensive ones. We make a deep dive there. And yeah, my suggestion would be to take a look. They are for free, of course. And last but not least is through helping through the webinars. We have approximately 150 webinars per year on different topics. Of course, it can be scholarships in Germany, UniAssist, Visa, also the subject webinars like the one that you're attending right now, but on different subjects. Today, we are going to talk about business administration and the umbrella topic, but we also have webinars on, for example, electrical engineering, on robotics, on artificial intelligence, on politics, political science, and so on and so forth. All of the webinars that are already planned, you can sign up for them actually by through visiting our webinars webpage, and then you can sign up for these webinars for free and then attend them, of course, for free. And my suggestion for you would be to open an account on our webpage, because by doing that, you will be able to unlock all of the options that our website is able to offer you. And also, of course, it's also for free. Our team is based in northern Germany, in Hamburg, but we are also all over Germany, actually, and all over the world, and that's why we are counseling in different languages. So for those who are also interested in German taught study programs, my suggestion for you would be also check out Hochschulkompass. There you might find some interesting and fitting programs for you. But if you are more into English taught study programs, then my German university and our study finder should definitely be your stop. We have lots of programs related to the issue of business administration, studying business administration. We have lots of bachelor's programs and even more master's programs listed there. And you can see that most of the programs are in English only, which means that you do not need any knowledge of German to get into these programs, and in many cases to successfully complete them. So yeah, please take a look at your leisure. Also, for those who are not familiar with what to expect when it comes to studying, for example, business administration in Germany, We have also specific subject pages for each subject that we list, and there you can find some generic information regarding the rankings of universities that are offering programs in this direction, or tuition fee ranges that you should expect, or various requirements that you should be ready for when you want to study business administration in Germany. So I think it's a very nice first step for the newcomers to create a bigger picture for yourself. Also, when it comes to searching for the right program, university and program, it's always important to take into account lots of aspects during your search, not only rankings, not only fees, not only names or cities, but all of them together and much more than that. And actually, also beyond that, you have to find programs based on your personal, individual interests, individual backgrounds, to make sure that you are making the right decision and you are not missing out on any of the opportunities that Germany has for you. Also, what I would like you to have as a takeaway from my presentation is, in Germany there are two key types of universities. One is Universität type of university, and it's called university in English, and University of Applied Sciences, which in German has some variations also in namings. The key difference between these two universities, so that you know, is in focus. So when it comes to Universität type of university, the focus is more onto the research and theory. In case of University of Applied Sciences, it goes more onto application and practice. So in case of further interest in more details, please let me know via email. And last but not least, in addition to the aspects that I mentioned before that are important to take into account when you're searching for the right program for you, so when you're using our study finder to find the programs, also I would suggest you to be a little bit flexible with wording, don't be too rigid with that, to make sure that you have found all the programs that fall under the umbrella of business administration. And by doing that, you will be able to drastically increase the chances of making the right choice, because by that you will almost ensure that you are aware of all of the opportunities that Germany is able to offer you, and then you can make the right choice. And I think this is one of the most important first steps on your way towards studying in Germany. All right, that being said, let us now move to a bit southern to Germany from Hamburg. And now we are moving to South Westphalia University of Applied Sciences. As I already introduced, we have guest Asif Shahryar, and he will introduce now a Master of Arts level program in International Management and Information Systems. And for the location, you can see where also the university is located. It's in quite a center west of Germany. So let me stop the screen share and hand it over to our guest.
Thank you, Georgi. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to introduce our university and our course to you. Let me share my screen first. That's better. Then we can all see what I'm talking about. All right, my screen is on, I guess. So
yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much. So welcome once again. My name is Asif Shahryar. I'm a program coordinator of our international study program, International Management and Information Systems. I'm also a PhD candidate, working on my PhD at the moment in the same university. I've been in this position for program coordinator since almost 7 years. So it's quite a long, and I also studied here as well in the same university, in the same degree program, and I was on the pioneer batch. So I think I'm the kind of a right person to ask questions if you have any regarding this study master's program. So that's our university, International Fachhochschule Südwestfalen, or South Westphalia University of Applied Sciences. And as Georgi already mentioned, that it's almost in the middle of North Rhine-Westphalia. And you could see we have around 5 campuses in different locations of NRW, but we are based particularly on here in Soest, which is a very small city, but it's very historical and beautiful. And our campus is really, really beautiful. If you have been to any of the campuses in Germany, I would really say that it's one of the nicest and beautiful campuses that we have in Soest, comparing with our other own campuses. A brief introduction about our university. Of course, it's a public university. We are founded in 2002. And this is the 3rd largest university in North Rhine-Westphalia. Also, we are having not only we are teaching, but also we are having a good research volume. So we also do a lot of research which is very unlikely comparing to University of Applied Sciences. And our research volumes are very large, so our professors, our students are publishing a lot of research papers, journals, and articles every single month, and it's very interesting. Mainly, our studies focused on business and engineering. Today, I'm going to only present our business study programs, which are in English, and of course, we do not have any tuition fees. That's a great news. And on the other hand, all the programs are accredited, all our degree programs, which means that it's got a test check mark, like, yes, of course, are very up to date. In our campus in Zost, we have 4 English study programs. 3 of them I'm going to introduce to you a little bit later. 3 of them are in business background, and 1 is in engineering. And this is last but not the least that our university is very international. We have around 1,700 international students. Among them, mostly like nearly 1,000 of students are from Zost. So if you come to our campus, Zost is a very international environment, and it's really environment friendly for our students. If we go to the next slide, so just a little brief introduction about our city, Zost. I'm not going to take too much time here. Zost, as I told you, is a smaller city, and the best thing about Zost is as there's a lot of international students, so the people there are very much friendly, and they are really welcoming our international students every semester. We have special students from Indonesia and other countries, and they are really welcomed, in a way that it's fantastic. And being an international student by myself, I was there. I was warmly welcomed. So you could always make sure that the city will also welcome you in a very nicer way. And also we have a very nice celebration called Kermis. We said Zost has 5 seasons. One of the seasons is called Kermis, and it's in November. If you're somewhere in Germany and around North Rhine-Westphalia, never miss to come to Kermis. It's the whole city turns into a ride, and that's really fantastic to see. Our campus Zost, as you can see, the pictures is beautiful, and we have around more than 3,000 students, and almost 1,000 students are studying in the international study programs. And these are we are under Faculty of Electrical Engineering, and we have 2 German courses, and other courses are in English. As you can see, Business Administration with Informatics, that's a bachelor course. And you can see the 2 other courses here are master's course. International Management Information Systems is a master's study program, and another International Management Information Systems online, that's an entirely online course. And this is under Center of Business Education. That's the main umbrella is our electrical engineering, and under the umbrella, we have a Center for Business Education, and there we teach our business study program. And the other study programs are mostly focused on engineering, and out of them 1 is only in English, which is System Engineering Management. You get more information once you visit our website. You can check all our programs, and if you're interested in any of them, you could always keep in touch with us. So this is I'm going to introduce our first study program, International Management Information Systems. We try to claim that we are providing one of the excellent education, and students in our study program, they're having more than 60 nations. So you have a very broad multicultural experience. So this study program, we are offering a Master of Arts degree, and it's in a blended learning format. What is that? I'm going to talk about in the next slide. The duration is 3 semesters only. Okay, so you will achieve, once you're done with your study program, you'll achieve 90 ECTS. And we are only having summer intake. So this program is a combination of business and IT. So on one hand, we are teaching you business, the core of businesses. And on the other hand, we're also teaching you IT. And in terms of IT, it's not a hardcore IT. That it means that you do not need to learn or knowledgeable in any programming skills and so on and so forth. But if you'd like to, we offer some electives in these cases. You can take them and get to, yourself more familiar with them. So if you're not from an IT background, you do not have to worry about that. It's our professor's job to teach you IT there. So it's a more like application-based IT. So you get to know more about ERP systems or business process management or information management, such courses. And on the business side, you get to know, of course, obviously, the current business topic. Plus, additionally, you also get to know several handy topics, like, for example, business marketing management or basic of finance and accounting or corporate finance, economics, and so on and so forth. And of course, our courses, this course is accredited by 𝘱𝘢, and that's why we are always very much confident that we are providing the excellent knowledge. So now let's talk about the blended learning approach. What's that? So we have 3 semesters. It's a very interesting and very unique in entire Germany. This type of format is 3 semesters. First semester is on campus. So you come to campus, you study on campus, face-to-face classes. And then in the second semester, second semester is entirely online. So you do not have to be on campus. In second semester, our students get an opportunity to do internship. Or you could also study abroad. Abroad means like we have some partner universities, so you can go there and study there. Or also you could take electives, okay? So therefore, you do not have to be on campus. And that's actually make our student more employable once they graduate. And nowadays, our students are getting jobs before they complete their semester because of these internship options. And in the third semester, they come back to campus, but not entirely. We have block seminars. So third semester is focused on research. So here you get to learn about research methods and you write your thesis. And additionally, you have some block seminar on management communication. So you get to know, because since you are going to go for a professional experience soon, that's why we teach you how to communicate, and we teach you more about communication in this semester. So that's why it's a blended learning format. So you have online, and the second semester is entirely online, first semester offline, and third semester is a combination of online and offline. So that's why it's a blended learning format. And that's actually a very interesting. So basically our students, they only come to the first semester into campus, and the second, the rest of the semesters, they usually like go somewhere else in Germany or outside Germany, and then they do the internship, come back to the campus, do some block courses, and then go back to their professions again. Now the question is why you should study IMS, because IMS is a combination of business and IT. And as you know, that Germany needs a big number of skilled employees, and IT is one of them. And then that's why our graduates, we have almost 99% employability rate once they graduated. So this course entirely taught in English. As you can see, some courses in Germany, they say that it's in English, but you have to study some German courses. But in IMS, you teach, we do everything in English, all the communication, all sort of lectures. Even if you write your thesis, you have to write it in English. Also, we teach you the basic, like the trendy topics, like artificial intelligence, business intelligence, enterprise resource planning, business process management, digital marketing, and so on and so forth. So all the trendy topics that you can see here and there and know about from whatever, and you can learn it here as well. Another interesting part is you do not necessarily need any IT skills. And of course, our diversity and intercultural environment really makes you able to, cooperate or collaborate, or whenever you are in an international environment, it really teaches you how to act, how to respond, how to communicate. So this is something it's by default our students learn. And also we are providing practical experience, which is internship, and that's a mandatory. So that's why our students usually they get job opportunities in the third semesters. This is our overview. Like, as you can see that all the dots, we are covering almost around 35 to 40 countries, 53 countries, now 57, and also 5 continents. We're still looking for someone from Australia. If there's someone here, please feel free to contact us. But on the other hand, we have students from all over the world. If your country is not there, please apply here with a proper requirement, and definitely we can see how can we proceed. I'm just going to skip this slide because we're also running out of a little bit time. Now let's talk about the requirements. So what you need basically to study IMIS. You need a 4-year bachelor degree in business or business informatics or economics or similar field of studies. And you obviously you need a 2.5 grade in German grading system or better, okay, or 2.4, 2.3, whatever, let's go down. Plus, we need English proficiency. In that case, we either accept IELTS or we accept TOEFL, either of these two. We do not accept any medium of instructions, or if you have studied previously, we cannot accept that because of our examination regulation. So this is our IELTS band. We need minimum 6.5, and TOEFL is 91. So now question is how you should apply. If you're international students, you apply directly on the white side. So, sorry, on the red side, pink side, you could see. So you apply via UniAssist. Our application is already open, and it will be until 15th of November. So you have still almost more than a month to apply if you're interested in the study program. If you are an EU student means that if you have a bachelor in Germany or in Europe, or you are an EU citizen, then you can apply as an EU applicant. In that case, you have to apply via our online portal, university online portal. And this portal opens in December. The portal opens for only 2 months until the end of January, and you have to apply within this time, okay? Yeah, that's the deadline. And then we can just proceed to our next slide. So we have some social media. If you get to know more about our study program, you could just scan those QR codes. We have our pages in LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook. You could follow us and get more information about that. So Professor Dr. Valerie Ulfoss, who was not able to join today, sends her greetings to you. You can directly contact her or contact me as a program coordinator. We'll be happy to answer your question. All right. I'll have some few minutes. I'll just introduce you 2 more study programs very shortly. Here, if you say that, okay, I cannot come to Germany and I'm working at the moment, but I really want to do a master's study program, then we have an offer for you. And that's the entire study program like IMIS, or International Management Information System, but online. So you do not have to come to Germany. It's a 4-semester study program, but this has a tuition fee, which is very minimum, 2,200 only per semester, and the intake only in winter semester, okay? So the deadline just got over. We have several students. This program is running for especially for the professionals. So if you have a professional degree, at least some experience, then you can apply for the study program. I'm just gonna go very fast with this study program. We offer 4 semesters. So first semester is onboarding week, and then you get to learn about the fundamentals. And then the second semester is specialize yourself. And the third semester is focusing on leadership and change management. And 4th semester is writing your thesis. We have a summer camp in between 2nd and 3rd semester, which means that student, if you wanted to come to Germany, in that case, you can come here and meet with the professors and have some intensive lectures. So that's a distance learning. Everything is online, but if you want, you can also come to Germany for a week or 2, and then also study with the professors and your colleagues, meet with them, and also we are offering this such support. These are the courses. I'm not going to go through that anymore at the moment. So the requirement is very similar to our IMIS, as I told you. Additionally, you need 1 year professional experience. And this professional experience has to be after your bachelor degree. Okay. If you have any question regarding application, this slide is helpful for you. Again, the EU applicant should apply via university online portal, and non-EU applicant can apply via UniAssist. They have their deadlines. You could just visit their website and to know more better. So Professor Dr. Peter Weber, he's the program director. You could already directly contact him, or Ms. Beckman, she is the program coordinator. That's her email address. All right, and this is the last thing, Georgi. If I have 2 more minutes, I would just finish my slides. I hope it's okay for you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Thanks. So now I'll just talk about very shortly about our bachelor program, our bachelor program called Business Administration with Informatics. So that's actually IMS is a consecutive master study program for our bachelor study program. This bachelor study program is 7 semester. Unlike other German study program, we offer 7 semester, and you gain 210 ECTS. The intakes are always in winter. So our intake is already done for this in winter semester, so you can apply for next year. Non-EU countries apply via UniAssist, and of course, the entire course taught in English. There are some basic requirements, language requirement you have to provide, and you should have a high school study qualification. In case if you do not have, maybe sometimes you have to do student colleague. In case if you have any question, you can go to UniAssist website, and there you can find out if you're eligible or not. Also, my German university offer such blogs, and you could always take a look into that and find out what you have to do in these cases. And in all the study program, German language is not necessary at all. Okay, of course, the language is necessary for you for day-to-day communication outside campus, but inside campus with your study, you do not have to have that. This study program, we are also providing education in trendy topics like data analysis, process automation, robotic process automation, programming, ERP, and so on and so forth. And also we have several partner universities in New York, in Southern Connecticut, or in Indonesia as well, and some other countries like in Austria and so on and so forth. So you could also get some courses there and get maybe sometimes scholarships also helps you to achieve such a degree as well. And these are the 3 pillars that we say in Business Administration Informatics is a BBA study program. So on one hand, we provide general education management like business administration, finance, business law, logistics, and so on and so forth. But on the other hand, we also provide you the IT modules like e-business, e-commerce, some programming skills, ERP systems, and more. Plus, we also teach you some soft skills, and which is very necessary for you for your professional career. And we also focus on English as well. So if your English doesn't matter which level you are, we really make sure that once you graduate, your English level is up to expert. So this is how we try to make sure that we are providing the world-class education and excellent education from our university. This is our fantastic BBA team. It's a big team. Professor Dina Dreisbach, who is also a dean of our faculty, is now also a course director. If you have any question regarding BBA course, you can just email bba-info@fi-sw.de. So thank you very much. I would be happy to answer your question later on. If you have further question regarding study program, this is a small contact just to remind you, or also if you have any question, writing us into the chat. I would love to answer your question in the chat also later on in the FAQ session. Thank you very much. And thank you, Georgi, for giving me some time to do my presentation. Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. Thank you very much, Asif, also for a wonderful presentation, for a very specific, also comprehensive one. Actually, lots of interesting topics touched on. And yeah, we'll get back to the Q&A very soon. And meanwhile, you can also already address some of the questions if you would like, also in the Q&A in the written form. Thank you very much. And now let's move to our next speaker, Professor Dr. Thomas Schuster from Pforzheim University. And we are moving now to the south of Germany, as you can see, very close to the French and Swiss border. And yeah, let me start.
Great. So now that should work. Thanks
Yes.
again for having me here. My name is Thomas Schuster. I'm a professor of database and software engineering at the Information Systems department of our university, which you can just see on my introduction slide. So actually, this is our campus. It's located at the edge between the city of Pforzheim and the beginning of the Black Forest. So that's what you can see here. And of course, if you are coming from the area or even maybe from Pforzheim, you may know, everybody knows where this is, but I assume maybe you haven't heard of Pforzheim at all. So let me introduce the area briefly. As being said before, we are located in Germany, and we are located in the federal state of Baden-Württemberg, which is the one indicated here on the lower left of Germany. The state has about 11 million inhabitants, and the city of Pforzheim itself, as said, is being kind of like close to France and also Switzerland or Austria. So maybe if you want to go skiing, that could be of interest. Our state capital is Stuttgart, which is also close by. That may be also of interest because there's a major airport located in Stuttgart. Often, if I introduce Pforzheim, I tend to mention, okay, you may not know it, it is between Stuttgart and Karlsruhe, which most people have heard of. Pforzheim itself is known as the Golden City, or in German Goldstadt. That is because of its history. It is a major city for jewelry manufacturing since hundreds of years now. So leading companies in that area are located close by. But maybe because the connection to Stuttgart and Karlsruhe, also a lot of companies in the area of automobile industry, OEMs, just such as Bosch, and also IT industry such as SAP are located just around us. And we have a lot of these what we call hidden champions. So companies that are maybe a world leader in medical supplies, delivery for automobile industry, such as that, are located either in Pforzheim or close to Pforzheim. I also learned a couple of them when I moved here. So to mention a couple of things of our university before I introduce our program specifically. As said in the introduction, we have these two types of universities. This also is a University of Applied Sciences. And currently we are consisting of 3 faculties. So we have the design faculty, which is a famous design faculty around the world. And we have the engineering faculty, and we have business and law, or the business school, which is where my program and the Department of Information Systems is located. Overall, we do have like 28 bachelor's programs and 19 master's programs. Currently, it's about 5,800 students studying at Pforzheim University, and close to 500 professors and lecturers that teach the program's contents. So as mentioned before, you will have the opportunity to receive the slides later on. So I do have also a little bit about history, but I will keep it rather short. Just to mention it, we are proud to have a long history in the sense of a University of Applied Sciences. This is quite uncommon, and most schools are established in the 1960s, and probably legally spoken, we are established like 1992, but we have ancestor schools leading back to 1877 when the school actually was founded. So the current legal form is established in 1992. We also have a lot of research and industry ties. So there's a lot of research projects, joint projects with industry that we operate, and therefore we have a lot of institutes. So they are all combined under the umbrella of Institut für angewandte Forschung, so IAF. and they all have a specific field of expertise. So for instance, I'm also working at the Institute of Smart Systems and Services, leading a couple of projects that are associated to artificial intelligence in my case. But yeah, there's a lot more. So if you are interested in that, I can recommend to visit the webpage of our IAF, so Institute of Angewandte Forschung. Also, we received international accreditations. So that was mentioned before. Typically, German universities, or not typically, they have to do national accreditation. And for universities of applied sciences, it's common to kind of like leave it with the national accreditation. But at our business school and the whole university, we achieved AACSB accreditation. So that's the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business. And also just recently, European Foundation for Management Development Accreditation, or in short, EFMD. Why is that important? I'm not sure if you have heard about these accreditations, but one of the advantages, which I will introduce in 1 or 2 minutes to you also, is the internationalization. So we do have a lot of partner universities. Currently, it's approximately about 200 partner universities worldwide. And that is one of the advantages once it comes to international exchange. So if you're planning to have semester abroad, we can help you with connecting to our partner universities, and also with the fees that probably are you need to pay at the partner universities, we can waive them. So that's a great advantage of AACSB. Yeah, so as I said, 200 partner universities, and we are engaged in different international networks to foster our programs, but also our research. So once it comes to international language programs at our business school, so this now is only the business school, not the other 2 faculties. We do have currently 6 English spoken programs. The one is digital enterprise management, which I'll introduce in detail today. And then we do have international business. There you have to take also on another language, international marketing, and that's the undergrad programs. And as graduate programs, we have digital management, which is about to start next year. So probably if you are about to apply, that is interesting to you. A corporate communication management as well, starting next year. And we do have an MBA that is already in place. So as said, I'd like to introduce the bachelor's degree Digital Enterprise Management in more detail to you. I have not mentioned it. I'm also the program director of this program. At our school, we do have 6 program goals that we consider to be common goals. So they are shared between all the programs. And we do have 1 goal, which is then detailed as the program-specific goal. So the 6 common goals basically are goals that are associated to common knowledge, common skills, critical thinking, analytical thinking, also ethical awareness, about communication skills, because we consider that to be important for any of our students, and about teamwork. And yeah, but maybe The last two are pretty much important for our program also, as many of our students later on take a job in consulting. So I would say this is also very specific to our program. For the digital enterprise management itself, the specific goal is the ability to design, optimize, and implement digital business processes. So that basically means that we teach you to use information technology in a business context, adopt it to the company's needs, and well, design it properly. So what does that mean? It's pretty, there's something wrong with my slides, sorry. Okay. It's pretty similar to what was mentioned before. So we deal with the analysis of business processes and also the incorporation of information technology. So for you, that also means we do have an emphasis on the business side and not on the computer science side. However, we are somewhat at the edge of these both disciplines, so economics and computer science. We deal with a lot of partner companies such as SAP. So we are a SAP partner university, and enterprise resource management courses are heavily also associated to SAP technologies. Another thing that is very important and that becomes more and more important within our redesign of the program, which I just briefly introduced also, is data literacy. I mean, that was probably important as well before, but now becomes more and more important. What do I mean with that? It is about using data to drive business decisions. So that means you should know how to structure data, how to analyze data, how to apply, and if you should apply artificial intelligence to data analysis. So that becomes a stronger focus within the redesign of our program. And then you see the last thing here, conducting business in Germany, navigating language, culture, regulations, and institutions. So part of our program is also the idea that our students not only come to take studies here in Germany, but also to get introduced into German economy. And we have a lot of students, international students, coming to us who then either stay in Germany or are working for a German company, maybe in their own country. So for instance, you recognize maybe Bosch or Daimler, they have locations all around the world. And we see it regularly that students come here to Pforzheim, study with us, join one of these major companies, go back to their country, or stay in Germany to work in our field. So for the program itself, a little bit more detail. What is it that you can expect once you join us here? It's a bachelor's program, of course. It's a 7 semesters, and we have one mandatory internship that's in the 5th semester. Overall, the program has 210 credits as the workload. In terms of language, it's an English program. We expect you to have B2+ as a requirement to enter the program. And we make it mandatory that you reach a certain level of German at the end of your studies. So that means basically that we also offer German classes. If you have German knowledge previously, you're not required to take the German classes. So examples of our current courses, a couple of them. So business process design, of course, e-procurement, e-commerce, or web applications. That's common classes that you can expect in our program. Of course, there's more. I would recommend to check out our webpage and the current program. As I said, next year we will have redesign. The redesign will incorporate some changes in terms of adding data literacy in terms of artificial intelligence or process mining, which is a technique to analyze business processes, and also information security. As you see, that's getting more and more important topic. The program structure, and this is typically the slide to freak out the students. Okay, this is how the program looks like on the 7 semesters. I'd rather like another representation, which is like that. So as you can see, I divided the program in a couple of parts. So we have the program focus, so that's business process analytics and IT related classes. Then we have general skills and competencies, general management, economics. So there you can see, especially in the first 2 or 3 semesters, we have a heavy focus on economics. Math, of course. Law and ethics is part of our program. And then we have German or another foreign language or a couple of other electives. So you can see the, yellow-colored modules here in the first 3 semesters on the left-hand side. That's German as a foreign language classes. As said, if you do have German language skills previously achieved, or you take examination in it, you can basically skip these classes and you can use other classes as electives to fill in here. But for most international students, they take the German classes so far. Yeah, and the 5th semester then is a mandatory internship. And as said, we do have good connections to a lot of companies around and can help you finding an internship there. In the sense of semester abroad, we recommend to take that in the 6th semester. So if you're interested, that would be semester 6. And you should prepare 2 semesters ahead in order to get ready to go abroad. So again, digital enterprise management is basically around using digital technologies in a business context. It's associated to a lot of these things that you may have heard or read in press, media, artificial intelligence, process mining, business process management. And the basic idea of this program is making you ready for a position where you can drive business decisions that are related to information technology, as we believe this is maybe already the present, but definitely the future skills that are needed. So before I come to an end, just briefly a little bit about our stuff. So it's also a quite huge team. So we do have scientific staff and lab engineers, and also a couple of professors teaching in your specific program. We are all happy to welcome you at Pforzheim University. So I guess, and it was introduced, there's a lot more about information, how to apply, and organizational and legal stuff about Germany at my German university, but just really brief, and I keep it short, as said, as you receive the presentation anyways. So our application process is pretty similar to the one which was introduced before. I recognize that there are slight differences in the deadlines, So for winter term, we have 31st of May as the deadline. For summer term, it's 30th of November. Important note to note here is that the Digital Enterprise Management program only allows for enrollment in winter term. So that would be May then. Yeah, I guess we do have a common selection criteria. The application, basically, all is online. You can just follow our webpage. I'll put that to the chat right now. And you find the application forms all there on our webpage. Yeah. So as said, we offer a lot of exchange programs if you are interested in going abroad. And we also have strong connections to all the companies around. And we are really eager to help you find an internship once you are close to the 5th semester. However, just to mention that, maybe typically it's not much of an effort for us to do, because most of our students take student work before, and they are already kind of like connected to local industry. So it's basically kind of like a no-brainer, straightforward. Finding an internship is easy in our area. Yeah, last thing maybe in terms of organizational things, housing is also easy in Germany. There's a lot of dorm rooms. It's not that difficult finding a dorm room if you are moving to Pforzheim. And I guess if I take a look at the time, kind of like running out, just wanted to mention the last two things here. Maybe we do have a lot of different student initiatives at our campus, and many of our students are actually really engaged in them. So they range from like social initiatives like Initiate, which is an initiative to help African development in education, to Rennschmiede, for instance, which is the construction of a race car, electric drive, of course, and a lot of other initiatives that, for instance, also dedicated to kickstart your work life later. So in order to get more information about our program, I recommend 2 or 3 more things to close up. So one is our blog, basically. It's called Future Lab, and you can access it via this QR code and see what's going on around information systems. So this basically includes news about research projects, the program that I just introduced, the German-speaking program, which is called Wirtschaftsinformatik, and the consecutive master's program, which I may have forgotten to introduce. It's a Master of Information Systems, which could be a consecutive choice if you start to study BDEM at Pforzheim. We are, of course, also active on social media. So for students and possible applicants, I recommend the Instagram channel. It is basically driven by students for students. So even if you can see my face there down on the slide, I'm not really posting here, but it's our students. Last but not least, of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Send me an email, drop me a note on social media, whatever is more comfortable to you. And I'm really happy to answer your questions, of course, not only by email or so, but also now. So hope we have a wider discussion.
Very good. Thank you very much, Professor. Another very comprehensive and informative presentation. And let me now open the floor actually for the Q&A. and let us address some of the questions that we already have. Let me start with you, Asif, although you addressed lots of questions, but there is also one that I would like we to address. So good evening, this international master. So do you require some knowledge of C++? My second question is, what is the weight of IT courses?
Okay, for our master study program, you do not require any programming language.
Okay.
So it's a mostly soft skill, softcore program, softcore IT knowledge. So you are mostly focusing on application based.
Okay.
And the second question was, what was the second question? I'm sorry.
So what is the weight of IT classes?
Weight of IT classes. It's very interesting because it's a very unique study program where a student can choose that how much weight they wanted to have. So in the first semester, we have balanced between IT and business. So you learn 3 business modules, IT modules, and 3 business modules, including communication. And then in the second semester, you decide that how you would like to shape your master's degree. So would you like to go for more IT focused, or you'd like to go for more business focused? In that way, you could choose your electives or your internship. And this is basically very helpful for the students because those who are not really good in IT, they basically go for business focused courses. And mostly, of course, students, they like IT. So that's why they also go for IT courses or going for IT internships and so on and so forth. And then in the third semester, you can master yourself writing your thesis based on your preferred criteria.
Okay, clear, very clear. Thank you very much, Asif.
You're welcome.
Very comprehensive answer. Now, Professor Schuster, let me address this question to you, because also related to the study content. Professor, could you please elaborate more on what does the programming course encompass?
I guess the question is about the lectures in our program.
Yes.
So as I said before, we do have like a mixture between economic classes and IT related classes. In the first 2 semesters, we do have a basic model, which we call the 𝘱𝘢𝘪 model. So there you do have a lot of economics classes, like foundations of economics, like general management and general skills, for instance. And there you do have only a couple of specific classes, which would be, for instance, with digital enterprise management, would be introduction to information systems and introduction to programming. As this was also just a question about C++, so we aren't totally focusing on Java and Python as programming languages. But we basically do not expect you to come and have previous knowledge about programming, so it's also good to start learning with us. And then 3rd and 4th semester for our program specific part, it is much about business process design and analysis, also associated to enterprise resource planning systems, and also incorporating some more technical lectures, currently databases, and in the future also process mining. So that's basically where the focus is in our program. And in the 6th semester, I forgot to mention that maybe we do have an electives module. So there you have 2 different areas. We call one digital business and the other is process analytics. And we have several classes where you can deepen your knowledge in these fields.
Okay, clear. Thank you, Professor. Thank you very much. Let me stay with you because you were addressing one question from Thomas, and then Thomas additionally wrote that, sorry, the internship, what is the minimum duration of the internship, not of the semester? There was a correction. So what would you say to this?
The internship, basically the internship is for the whole semester. In terms of weeks, how long you have to study, I'm not 100% study, how long you have to work, I'm not 100% sure right now. I would have to look that up. It's not really the whole semester, but I assume it's something like 6 or 8 weeks.
Okay.
Not 100% sure.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, Asif, I'm getting back to you. I think there was a similar question already that you addressed, but there's still another one from our guest from Morocco. So I have a question. In Morocco, we usually get a bachelor degree in 3 years. So I guess he means that I have around 180 ECTS, not 210. Is there any way to apply for a master's program, or is there another way to take the studies at your university?
In our case, we really require 4 years bachelor study program. So you have to have 210. You could study, you could achieve the 30 ECTS from any universities, and then you can apply for us, or you could go for other universities which offers 210 ECTS, 120 ECTS master study program. So I think in our case, I'm sorry that we do not have at the moment any English language courses that require 3 years bachelor degree. Sorry for that.
That's fine. Thank you also, Asif. Next question is, for Professor, how intensive are German courses in Pforzheim? Is it also a business German that is covered?
Of course, our German classes are also dedicated to our programs and incorporate business terminology and language. They are taught by our language department, so it's not an external course or something. We do have the language department, which basically teaches the German classes. If you have previous German knowledge, they also teach like Spanish or English classes, if that's of matters to you. And as said, yeah, it's also dedicated to a specific or program-specific language.
Okay, now question for both of you, but let me start with Asif. With semester abroad, will the study duration be extended for both speakers?
Okay, for us in our master study program, it's not. It's integrated within the study program. So in the second semester, you can choose study abroad option. So you study 3 modules from our university, that's entirely online, and 2 modules from other university from based on your choice or our choice. We can be very flexible in that. So that's why the study duration never extended. Maybe additionally, also if someone takes internship, and sometimes the internships are usually mandatory internship of 3 months. Sometimes students go for 6 months internship, and this might extend the study duration of the program. In that case, sometimes our students finishes in 4th semester or 5th semester, 3 semester study program.
Okay, clear. And Professor 𝘱𝘢?
Pretty similar with us, so it's not really extended. Maybe to mention that before you go abroad, you will create what is called a learning agreement. Basically, that is the selection that you made at the university abroad and how this maps to our program. So basically, which classes would you substitute with your semester abroad? And therefore, it's not really necessary to extend studies. So you basically get the credits abroad and we acknowledge them in our program. Just because of the internship reminds me of 2 things. So first of all, I just remembered, of course, it was 12 weeks for the internship. Then what I also can recommend, as we have a lot of larger companies around, you can also try to get an internship abroad. We do have that regularly also. So that would be another option to go abroad if you're interested.
Nice. Thank you for this addition also, Professor. And yeah, regarding internships, you both mentioned internships, and it seems to be a very interesting topic now for students. Is it a specific, can they take it in different semester rather than you mentioned, or it should be taken in a specific semester provided by your curriculum? The question is for both. Let's start with Asif.
All right, for our BBA program, you can do it whenever you have, after, if I'm not mistaken, it's after 6th semester, you can go for internship. But for our master's study program, you have to achieve at least 24 ECTS, which means that you have to complete at least 5 modules from our first semester, and then you are eligible to apply for mandatory internship. Students, sometimes they also go for voluntary internship in our case, which is also very popular because, as you can see, that our courses are very much trendy and market oriented, and therefore they also go for voluntary internship even after finishing their mandatory internship. And we also encourage them because that also gives them a very practical knowledge and professional knowledge, and we provide our full support from our partner companies and so on and so forth.
Clear.
Okay. And Professor?
Yeah, for us, so first of all, there is some flexibility. You have to finish or complete what we call first section of program. That's basically all classes taught in first 2 semesters. Besides that, what I would recommend if you are thinking about moving things around, be careful what you do. I mean, not all classes are taught in each semester. So that's a thing to keep in mind. So for instance, it is rather a bad idea to move from winter to summer term, while it's not really that big a difficulty to move between, you know, like 3rd and 5th semester or so. But besides that, of course, we see that a lot, that people start the internship 1 semester with delay or so. As said, there is some flexibility, but be careful to how you move things around. And of course, we can discuss that directly, and we also have support if you need to have help making plans. So
can you hear me? Sorry, I was frozen for a bit.
okay.
So,
yeah,
okay.
I'm not sure. Was my answer complete or?
Your answer was complete. It was from my side.
Okay.
There was something problem, but yeah. Great. Thank you very much.
Sorry, Georgi, one additional, because I just checked our website from BBA, just
Sure.
additional information regarding our BBA internship. It's an elective, so you don't have to do that. But if you'd like to do, you can go for that. So that's why there is no limitation for that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But for IMS, it's part of elective, but it can be mandatory once you take it, because then it comes as a mandatory courses. So that's why we consider it as a mandatory elective.
Okay, that's an important note. Thank you. Thank you, Asif.
No problem.
There are 2 questions that I would like to quickly address. Sudeep, your question regarding the supply chain management and Vibe Hub, your question regarding the general qualifications. That's very broad questions, not related to specific programs. My suggestion would be, now I will put in the chat the link to our study finder. Please check out there the programs that you mentioned that you are interested in. Check out what is there in that directions, and then based on each university program, there will be different requirements. Please, you have to do it yourself by clicking on the link that I have just sent in the chat. So, yeah, Professor Schuster, I was just going to ask this question. Can I apply for summer semester for both? I think Asif mentioned that both intakes are open, if I'm not mistaken. But in case of Professor Schuster, you said for this specific digital business program, it was only summer semester, right? Or winter semester, sorry. Can you unmute yourself? We cannot hear you.
The other way around. So for digital enterprise management, we only have applications for winter semester.
Yeah, winter semester, sorry.
So application deadline would be end of May then.
End of May, yeah. Okay, it was 31st of May or something like that. Okay.
Other programs also allow entrance for summer semester, but for this program not.
Okay, and Asif, in your case, it's both, right?
In our case, our bachelor program is only in winter semester, so deadline is over, so you have to look for the next year. And also for IMI's online version for the professional, that's also only in winter semester. But IMIS, our master study program, which still the admission is open and you can apply until 15th of November if you are a non-EU applicant or international applicant. So you still have time, 1.5 months, and I'm sure that you can definitely make it.
Okay, great. And now let me address the last question from Jonathan. Jonathan, hey, my name is Jonathan Lukengu. My question is, I want to apply to come there to study in January. So you want to start in January or maybe closer to the already summer semester? I don't know. I live in Congo. I want to know if it's possible. So yeah, if it was just addressed, Jonathan, the deadlines and the semester intakes, it was already addressed. When you can come, for example, in some cases, you can come only for the winter semester, which starts usually in October, September, depending on the program also. And then the others start also in summer semester. So you can check the deadlines once again. And we will also send you the presentations. The deadlines are once again written. And then, yeah, being from Congo, it itself does not block you from applying. So it's not that some students from particular countries cannot come. There's no such kind of discrimination. If you are, if you have a requirement, if you meet the requirements, please apply until the deadline, until the end of the deadline, and then you will get in as long as you meet the requirements, of course. This is not only for these programs, but in general, this is how it works in Germany. All right, so we cleaned the board. Thank you very much, Asif. Thank you very much, Professor Schuster, for your presentations, first of all, very comprehensive ones, and also for very comprehensive answers to the questions. That is always important for students to clear the doubts. And yeah, thank you for attendees as well, for tuning in, for your interest, and for sending in your questions. That's always a very important part, of course, of our webinars as well. If you have any additional questions to our guests, please feel free to get in touch with them. They shared with you also the email and contact details. If you have any follow-up emails after you think once again about the process, the whole information that you received today, please feel free to do so, and I'm sure they will be happy to help you out. And if you have any general questions to us regarding studying in Germany or related topics, of course, we are also happy to help you. Get in touch with us and also check out our articles and attend our webinars, of course. And if you would like to leave particular feedback for today's webinar, please, you are also welcome to do so through our Facebook and Google channels. We always check the feedback and we always take this into account. Once again, thank you very much, everyone. I hope to see you on our future webinars as well. And for now, I wish you a very nice rest of the day. Take care and bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.